Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Kanye, we obviously saw a big game from you the other day. What kind of opened things up for you? And you saw a lot more aggression getting the rim too. What kind of spurred that from you?
It was just from my teammates and my coach. Miller was trying to take away Jalen Pickett and Funk and stuff. So I feel like we needed somebody to just step up, be more aggressive, just try to attack the paint.
How do you stay ready when maybe you're not getting consistent minutes, and then when you have that opportunity to be able to take advantage of where the time may be?
I just try to just think positive and just think about the team. So whenever I get my chance, my number's called, I just try to go out there and play as hard as I can and just try to pick the game in a positive way.
Andrew, how have you personally seen Kanye come along since you're during his freshman year?
Yeah, I think part of that and what he just said is the work that he puts in practice too. Him and as well as the other freshmen that we have. They come in every day, like you said, no matter when. Played 5 minutes, played 25 minutes like you did last game. Like they're coming in the next day, ready to go, ready to work, ready to get better. And so I think that goes a long way with it. And a lot of the work that they put in behind the scenes really kind of spurs them. And when their number is called, like it was the other day for Kanye, he's ready to go.
Andrew, Micah mentioned Seth as someone that's really stepping up kind of behind the scenes and from a leadership role. What have you seen from him, and how have you seen the rest of the seniors, including yourself, step up in these last 4 games?
Yeah, I think Seth's been awesome. He's just his thing is just consistency. He's just we know what Seth we're going to get every day, which goes a long way. It's a long season, and like the last 4 games, there's just a lot of ups and downs. More downs recently, and just knowing that you're going to have a consistent guy like him, and the way he's going to play, the effort that he's going to play with, and the attitude that he's going to bring. It makes everyone else's lives easier. Where if you're struggling a little bit, he's going to pick you up. So that's been awesome. He's been playing great. He's been, like you said, he's been great off the court as well. And we're going to need guys like myself and other guys who step up and be right there with him as we get into the home stretch.
Kanye, over the course of this year, you've seen your minutes kind of go up and down depending on the game. What is that like for you? As a player, kind of. Some days it's a lot, some days it's not that much. How do you kind of work through that?
I kind of just look at it as a process. I mean, we have a lot of good players and a lot of seniors and just upperclassmen who are very good. So I know I got to just wait my turn and just try to get in where I fit in and help them in any way possible.
Andrew, how do you feel like you've been handling this 4-game stretch? I think we saw against Wisconsin a little bit of frustration from you on the court, a little more demonstrative than usual. How do you think you've been handling it? What was going on specifically in that game that maybe brought out some of that emotion?
Yeah, just frustration, and it's something that I need to be better with, to be honest with you. I just talked about Seth with consistency, and I think that's honestly one of the better traits that I bring to the team. And then the last 4 games I've kind of faltered with a little bit, and that's something that I need to be better with. Especially behind the scenes in the locker room, on the court, like Kanye just said, we have a lot of upperclassmen. Those are the guys that we're going to look to when we're in need, and they need to see a controlled, face, controlled emotions. We're good. So I think that's something that I need to work on, need to be better with. But you lose a couple games in a row, you get frustrated, and you got to work on the positives a little bit more, build off of them. Even going off this weekend, like I thought we played 30 great minutes, and it's the 10 minutes that we did play great was what ended up costing us. But there's still stuff to build on. So I think focusing on those positives more so than anything is kind of going to help me and help us get out of the funk a little bit.
Coach talked about how different Illinois is this time from when you guys played the first time. What has jumped off the page when you watch them on tape?
They have a lot of guys, man. And they have a lot of guys who can go. They have a lot of guys who can fill it up. It was even the case the first time we played them. Obviously, Coach said, their offense has changed a little bit, but they still have, Terrence Shannon Jr. and Matt Meyer and whatnot. They can break you down. They can get a bucket at any point. So I think, being aware of that and having to be locked in, on every dribble that they take, knowing anyone's able to break it off at any point will be really important for us, especially defensively.
I don't know if you noticed that was an excellent fun with the getting out of the fun.
Yeah.
But you mentioned being consistent, staying consistent. It looked like Saturday was more consistent from you guys defensively. What changed? And there are no more victories and everything, but do you feel better coming out of that game than maybe you have the 3 previous losses?
Sure, yeah, and a lot of it has to do with, I think our effort's been pretty high all year, and it might have faltered a little bit, Nebraska and Wisconsin, but I think it's combining the effort with discipline and focus has been the biggest thing. Sometimes one is there and the other isn't, and we've been flip-flopping a little bit. And I think Maryland, we put together more stretches where we're playing really hard, we're doing what we need to do, and we're focused on our game plan, what we need to do defensively. So I think that was probably the biggest switch that flipped. And like I said, we did it, but we didn't do it for the whole game. And it's putting together that 40 minutes, especially on that defensive end, that's going to kind of help us, get over this turning point right now.
What's kind of the takeaway from a game where the shooting was better on the road, the defense was better on the road, so then a new issue popped up with turnovers where kind of two steps forward, one step back in a way. What's kind of the takeaway from that, and how do you kind of evaluate that holistically?
Yeah, it's difficult, to be honest. The shooting and whatnot. I think the biggest takeaway is that it's hard to win on the road is the biggest thing, and we need to realize that we need to do a lot of things well. And like you said, we do this well, we do that well. Guess what? We still got to be good at what we've been good at all year. So I think realizing that it's hard to win on the road and we're going to have to do a lot of things well is the biggest takeaway. And then kind of again, like I said, just building off of what we did. Hey, guess what? Maybe we hit a little turning point with our defense that game. Maybe we hit a little, we found something on the offensive end shooting wise. So kind of hitting on those and building off those, and then cleaning up the other things as we move forward.
Was Kanye's ability to get to the rim kind of open things up for you on the perimeter and other shooters on the perimeter?
Oh, it's awesome. Him staying ready and coming into that game, being a game changer, just gives us a whole new dimension to our team, especially in that game. Opens everything up, and just taking a little pressure off Pickett and Cam too, who have been our main playmakers all year. Him getting into the lane, creating, kicking, and when they're not helping, being able to finish at the rim, like I said, gives us a whole new kind of dimension to the team, and really helps us kind of play well and gives other people confidence.
Andrew, how have you seen Jalen handle some of the non-calls, the officiating just in general, has been talking about it kind of all year, but just in game and in the locker room, how has he dealt with that issue this year?
Yeah, I don't think he lets it affect him, to be honest. I think, he plays a unique brand of basketball, especially for a guard. And, it's personally something that I haven't even really witnessed. So I think, he doesn't complain on it. He doesn't harp on it. He doesn't let that be a factor for, we lost 4 games in a row, and maybe he didn't play well. He doesn't let that be a factor in it. So I think that's kind of important for, realizing where his mentality is. It's I'm going to do what I need to do to help us win regardless of who's affecting the outcome. So I think that kind of speaks volumes to who he is and kind of sets a precedent forward that, we're going to control what we can control and we're going to do what we can from there.
How is the energy different right now in the locker room as to where it was earlier in the season when things were very much on the up and up?
I think the energy recently, we were on a 4-game losing streak, but I think it's actually picked up a lot, realizing things we need to do and things to get better at. So we just been coming to practice with just a positive mentality and just we're realizing nobody's going to feel sorry for us. So we just got to bring our A game each and every day, whether it be a practice or game or walkthrough. So it's been really good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom.